Greetings, this is Jazz for Jazz Reviews, bringing the latest and best on this year's E3 Expo. Obviously this wasn't just E3, this was the one and only event which gave us real insight into the new consoles this fall. But I'm not here to report on consoles, as tempting as it may be. I'm here to tell you which games really did it for me, because it was a pretty damn good E3. At number 5. Titanfall. Forged by the past developers of Infinity Ward, Titanfall shall be the very first game of Respawn Entertainment, of which was founded of course by Vince Zampella and Jason West. But finally, we have a game that shall be a multiplayer only Microsoft exclusive. Graphically speaking, I wasn't all that impressed, but there's a lot going on here. The main idea lies with the Titans, which can be piloted by players for gameplay which is still agile and fast, just all the more powerful. But outside of the bots, you can expect pilots wall running, double jumping, and generally zooming about as if on speed. This is a multiplayer game, but one which allegedly still holds a narrative and strong characters, and with a blend of both computer AI and real players. I think the level of chaos we've seen in other games has grown to a whole new level. This title, amongst others, now aimed to create a bigger multiplayer game, which is great in my eyes. Look for a release date come spring 2014. Number 4. The Division. This title came out of nowhere for me. We know this title will be none other than a tactical shooter, with some very interesting co-op integration. Ubisoft even described the game as one of an MMO-styled experience, all with a black market economy system allowing players to create weapons and items and trade them with others. Obviously this play on the MMO aspect shouldn't be taken in the literal PC sense. I would guess the added social aspects of user-controlled drones via tablets would also contribute to the term MMO on the next-gen console. But the game does look big. The demo was very smooth, polished, which is only natural at a press conference, so I'll need to see real raw gameplay with a lot more aspects in play before I pass final judgment. At number 3. Destiny. Developed by Halo Legends Bungie, Destiny is a first-person shooter again centered around a multiplayer experience. Destiny is first and foremost a skill-based action game. The creators have not stopped talking about the level of immersion Destiny is supposed to deliver. In the world of Destiny, matchmaking will commence without need for lobbies and menus, so something along the lines of a journey-styled interaction. Along with Titanfall and The Division, it's clear that online games are about to be moulded into something different entirely. It's the thrill of encountering other players in the wild, and then having your goals converge with theirs in a natural and unforced way. At least that's the way the Destiny franchise is lining itself up to be in the next decade. At number 2. Battlefield 4. From a single-player perspective, I was impressed. If we're going to have a linear military shooter, Battlefield surely has got to look the best. Gunplay looked as gritty and satisfying as ever, to be used to trigger a nice scripted physics effect on the fighter jet. But the action never looked better, with all kinds of dynamic water elements in play, as well as the amount of debris flung all over the place. From the multiplayer demo shown at the EA conference, I was blown away. After sitting through all of the segments EA Sports had to offer, I was ready to see Battlefield 4's new 6-player squads in action. Things just got a little more crazy. With a larger focus on naval combat now, boats will be directed towards combat zones with inner-city rivers. Should one's boat get destroyed, players can bail on jet skis to get right back into the action. The new direction of gameplay will now apparently be more slanted towards close proximity battles. But with this, we got to see some real frostbite destruction right from the start. Supposedly this scene was completely unscripted. Now the skyscraper that fell right to the ground was not just triggered by the progression of the match, meaning specific buildings like these function much like Battlefield 3's Caspian border. As players progressed into the lift, you had a laugh. And then just sit back in sheer awe when a chopper came out of nowhere peppering soldiers left and right. And finally the commander mode is back, with all kinds of responsibilities to your team, but with extra abilities such as an artillery strike. So obviously we need to see more maps to conclude that Battlefield 4 is really all that different from 3, but so far, it definitely looks amazing. And finally at number 1, Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain.
Just a combat cipher. Rubbing our noses in bloody battlefield dirt. All for revenge.
With just a minute or two of actual stealth gameplay shown at GDC this year, I was itching to see more. What is now more clear than ever is that Metal Gear has transformed into an open world stealth game, and we saw a demonstration of how Big Boss would use the surroundings to his advantage. With a complete in-game time cycle, I think we should prepare for a lot more complexity within regards to stealth. MGS4's close quarters combat was advanced. With this one, we didn't get to see so many maneuvers executed, but we did get one. But the real deal here boils down to the movement of Snake. For a third-person character, I haven't truly seen anything so fluid as to what we see here. As a part of the stealth genre, I believe MGS5 will further reinforce the series as the best ultimate stealth games. In an interview surrounding E3, the very architect of the MGS series did almost confirm an online multiplayer. This is a good thing, because it always has been. Metal Gear Online is a brilliant model I'd love to see return. He also briefly talked about possible user-generated missions to custom build your own missions into the open world as some kind of an online component. But at the heart of any MGS game would be the story. This time Kojima dubs Phantom Pain as a narrative of revenge. The storyline will be very mature, and the character we play very much in between the lines of either good or bad. This is not the hero of past games. This is Big Boss. This has been Jazz for Jazz Reviews, and you've been watching the best of E3 2013. Originally I was going to open with the announcement of Battlefront 3, but we really don't have much to go on aside from the fact it's developed by DICE on the Frostbite engine. Watch Dogs stole the show last E3, as did The Last of Us. So these are my places for the 5 games that really impressed me, along with an honourable mention to Thief. So thanks for watching. Feel free to follow my Twitter found in the description, and I will see you in the comments below.